Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. So, this past weekend, there was a meetup for both DDO and Lotro at PAX East, which is a gaming convention. It's in the Boston area. I didn't go or anything. I don't live anywhere near Boston, but there was a lot of information that came out from that meetup. There was a lot of new things that were announced, and let's just go ahead and talk about it in this video. If you want to see the full video, there was actually a video someone recorded of Severlin, the executive producer, talking about changes not just for DDO but for Lotro as well. I'll link that video below. It's about 25 minutes, but you don't need to watch that if you don't want to. I'll just summarize everything in this video as we talk about it. Okay, so first thing, Severlin, and I'm not going to talk about the Lotro stuff, obviously, just the DDO stuff. Okay, the first thing that Severlin talked about was the Feywild expansion that was previously announced in the producer's letter earlier this year. Some things he mentioned is that Feywild will definitely include the shifter race, so I'm expecting it to, for sure, be there to be bundled in with the expansion. He mentioned that the landscape of the Feywild will be very different. It will be new from anything that we've seen in DDO before. So he talked about things like new trees and such. He mentioned that there's a lot of color in the expansion. He mentioned specifically there will be raids, and he used the plural raids. So I would expect that expansion have 2 raids, if not 3, probably 2. Probably 2, sort of like each of the past 2 expansions. Ravenloft and Sharn have both had 2. So it sounds like they're going to stick with that for Feywild, and it will have 2 as well. He mentioned a lot of new strange creatures as well with Feywild. He also clarified some of the increases to the level cap. So it has been confirmed. It was already confirmed, but he really confirmed that it is a level cap increase. It's not, say, like a new enhancement tree or something, or new types of enhancements that give more power at level 30. It's a strict level increase. So he mentioned that in the Feywild expansion, they're just going to start out with a couple levels. So he mentioned that they might start out with level 31 in the Feywild expansion. And then he said one other thing, which was really nuts to hear. He said, he said Feywild will have 2, maybe 3 additional levels. So expect Feywild to be 2 or 3. So we'll probably go up to 32 or 33. But the crazy thing is, after that, he said, over the coming years, we're going to level 40. So he did say that their goal in the coming years is to get to level 40. And just to clarify, he's not saying that anytime soon, like we're not gonna go to level 40 like with the Feywild expansion or anything. It's just a long-term goal. So we don't really know the timeline for that. All we do know right now from what Severlin has said is that Feywild will be 2 or 3 levels. So expect level 32 or 33 with the Feywild expansion, and then over time they want to get to level 40. So we're going to see probably, I don't know, maybe a couple levels every year, every other year. There's no way to tell if we're going to get to level 40 in 3 years, or if it's going to be a long term thing where they want to see it in 5, 6 years, but it's something they want to do. So the thing to take away is that if we get 2 or 3 levels with Feywild, don't expect it to end there. They want to get to level 40, which I guess makes sense from 40 is a nice clean place where they can probably start a new type of, say, like reincarnation or something, to go from 40 to 20, and it would be similar to heroic reincarnation we have currently, which goes from 20 to 0. Whereas if you stop at like 33, that's kind of an awkward spot. So I guess it's a nice round number. I guess they could maybe go to 35 or something, but I think they want to get up to 40. So yeah, so personally, I would be against this if they don't try to consolidate the player base, but they actually said some things about that, which I'll get to in a minute. Okay, next, they confirmed unicorns. So we're going to see unicorns in DDO, and they actually showed a picture, which I'll pop on the screen right now. And what we have to assume is that is just a cosmetic variation of a mount, right? It's got to be just a mount. I doubt it's an enemy or something. It's for sure. They didn't say it was a mount, but it's got to be a mount. So it's not that big of a deal. It just looks like a white horse with a stick on its nose. Or its head. Okay. I mean, I think it's awesome like that they do cosmetic alterations for mounts, and there's so much potential there for them to make cosmetic alterations, and people like that, and it's cool, and it's an awesome way for them to make money that's not power creep. So I think that's awesome that they're bringing in unicorns. I hope they do more cosmetic stuff. Like I want to ride like a freaking owl bear. Like they need to do like a lot of like I want to ride give me a clay golem like my avatar on my YouTube channel is. Like give me something crazy that I can just ride around. Like that would be awesome. I would totally pay for that, by the way, if they put a clay golem in the store. But anyways, unicorns are coming. Who knows when? Probably maybe with the Feywild expansion. They didn't say specifically when they're coming, but they are coming. Okay, another thing you mentioned is someone asked Severlin about what they want to do in the future. So places and locations they want to go. He said they would like to do something in the astral plane, and I think that's awesome. Like of any location, D&D location, the one I would most want to see is the astral plane. I think that would be awesome. I think the astral plane is super interesting, and I've read a lot about the astral plane, so I think it would be awesome to see their take on the astral plane. The next thing they mentioned they would like to do is psionics, which they talked about that kind of in the past, but it is something on their radar. Again, none of this stuff that I'm saying in this video is promised unless I outright say it. It's just several saying that's where they want to go. So it's not like we're definitely going to get astral plane. We're definitely going to get psionics. It's just things they want to do. So next is the thing I talked about with player consolidation. So someone there asked about server merges, which is the huge elephant in the room with DDO, and everyone knows it. And Severlin did comment on it. It's the first thing first time I can remember the developers commenting on it for years. I can't remember the last time they commented on server merges, but this is what he had to say. He said they want to have mega servers for DDO. That's a goal they have eventually. Again, this is not promised or anything, but they said that's something they would like to do. They said that there are some hurdles to that, which they've mentioned before. So the major hurdles is technical stuff. So he mentioned account items being a hurdle, and a big hurdle he mentioned was moving guilds. So right now the tech they have, if you guys don't know, I mean, some people have commented on my videos actually somewhat frequently in the past where they said, well, they've said, well, they have transfers already. Why is it so hard to do server merges or move to new servers? Why is it so hard? I mean, we already have the tech, and actually they don't already have the tech, because when you do a character transfer, a lot of stuff doesn't transfer with you. So you don't transfer your guild, you don't transfer your TR cache. There's other things. I don't think you transfer your astral shards balance. Like there's a lot of things the tech they have right now can't do. And that's really the big thing that I think we've all assumed. And the few times they have commented on this in the past, it's one of the things they've mentioned. So they're working on the tech. Apparently, that's what he seems to be saying there. But the only thing he really did confirm that it's something that they want to do eventually. But he did mention mega servers as opposed to server merges. So server merges would be, say, take like Wayfinder, Thelanis, and Caneth and put them together. What a mega server is they basically would move everybody onto a new server instead of merging them. They would create a new mega server and throw everyone on it from the old servers. So he mentioned what they wanted to do was do that and then make it kind of a transfer. And he did say that they couldn't see them charging for that or anything, since it would be obviously like a attempt to consolidate the player base. So you have to assume that it will be free. So it would probably work. Hopefully, what I'm getting from this is that they would like to make it work with like their current transfer tech does, except let people transfer over everything they need to, like items and guilds and stuff. But once they do that, maybe we can get mega servers or some consolidation of the player base. So it's good that they commented on it. Like that's the one thing I think a lot of people have been upset about. It's just the lack of just the silence. Like they haven't said anything, as far as I know, in years in terms of server merges. And it's the thing that everybody asks about all the time on the forums. Player base is asking about it like constantly, and it's the one thing that I think really could benefit DDO more than anything else. Anything they could do. I would rather have a server consolidation like a mega server than really anything else that the DDO could do. So hopefully they work towards that and get the technical stuff taken care of. But it is nice to hear that it's something they want to do. So that's good. Again, no promises on that. or anything that they mentioned. Just they just said it's something they want to do, and it's nice to know that they're at least working on it, or appear to be working on it. So another couple things they mentioned, they said the big perk of doing like a mega server instead of a merge is that if they move everyone over to a mega server, it's going to free up all the old character names, because the way DDO works right now is if anyone has registered as a character name from when the game opened in 2006 till now, that name is permanently taken unless the character is deleted. So there are just probably tens of thousands, of character names taken that from players who haven't logged in 7 years, who quit the game a long time ago. So it would be nice if we could move over and actually get some of those names. And with the player base being smaller and more consolidated, we would actually have, a lot of popular names people want to name their characters open up. So that's cool. I know there's a lot of players like me who have names or aliases they like to go by online, like Axel's mine, and I can't get like Axel in any form at all because it's all taken. So I have to like basically spell it differently. So that would be really nice if I could get actually Axel, at least something like Axel, Alex or something on the in game where I could actually play as that, so people would actually recognize me a little more maybe. But okay, next thing is, he talked about DDO housing, and all he mentioned there was that the team has discussed it, and another developer chimed in. The main issue there is server load, so items and lag and things. So, but it's something they've discussed. The one possibility in terms of theme is having Sharn apartments, which I think would be cool. It makes sense. Sharn's supposed to be this big city, and it's also an area where I think one of my criticisms of the Sharn expansion is that the public area just doesn't feel like a big city. Sharn's supposed to be as far as I understand it in DDO lore, D&D lore, is it's supposed to be this big, robust city, and it just doesn't feel like that. And there needs to be more things to do in Sharn that are in the public area, in my opinion. So that would be cool. I think if I had to pick anywhere to put housing, I think Sharn would make the most sense of anything I can think of in the game. I think that would make perfect sense. So that would be really cool. And I know housing is something that I believe they have in Lotro, and it's something that I know players have asked for. I personally don't really care. If it means more storage space, that would be awesome, because I always have problems with throwing stuff away, as a lot of people do. I'm not perfect. So that would be cool. I don't really care about houses thematically or from a role-playing aspect or anything like that. But more storage space, hey, I'm on board. That's awesome. Okay, another thing they mentioned is that they want to do more expanded guild-related events or guild goals. So they mentioned things like guild TR, for example, so that guilds have always have something to strive for. Because as of right now, you kind of get up to a level with your guild where you have everything you need in terms of buffs and in terms of ship type and size and stuff, and there's not really any other goals to go after. So they think it would be cool if guilds had a way to, maybe if they had something like guild TR, guilds could always have a goal they're working towards, and they think that would be really cool. So yeah, I think that would be awesome. I mean, that would be awesome. It's just I don't know if that means taking away buffs and stuff or what TR would entail, but in concept, the idea of giving guilds more to do and something to do all the time sounds pretty cool. I have no issues with that. That sounds awesome. So that's about it for everything I saw in that video. Again, I'll link the video below if you want to watch it for yourself, but I believe I covered everything DDO related mentioned in the video. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff here. The only concerning thing I think people have is the level 40, but honestly, if they did a mega server, I think that level increases would be way less of an issue. But I will say it does sound like the level increase is something that's for sure going to happen, whereas the mega server is still up in the air. They have the tech issues, so who knows? But I don't really like the idea of level increases, so that's really the only negative thing right now. I don't want to see the end game, because DDO's end game is actually pretty good right now, and I don't want that to get destroyed, because I remember how it was when we got Menace of the Underdark, and just when all those level 20 raids got obsoleted, and it was just years of nothing to really do at endgame, and it's just I don't know that they can produce content fast enough to fill up in game if they do a level increase. That's my main concern, especially with raids. I mean, they put out what, a couple raids a year, and that's just not enough, especially when raids get farmed out so fast in this day and age of DDO, when we have raid timer bypasses and all this stuff, and raids just don't last that long. So I don't know that they can upkeep the end game, but that's my main concern. But everything else, I mean, that they've mentioned here sounds really cool. So guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know what you think about this, all this news here. That's gonna be it. I'll see you all next time. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one and take care.